I know I'm better than I already proved the first time.
You know it's gonna work as hard as me, you know it's gonna fight as hard as me, you know it's gonna train as hard as me.
I'm coming to finish.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness.
Place on earth, but just in the shadow of it tonight. Fairy tales, throw those out the window. Replaced with fighters and fists flying in one of the most entertaining cards of the summer. It will be a sold-out crowd here inside the Honda Center, ready to see two of the biggest names in combat sports run it back to see who is the last man standing. We, of course, are talking about Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal here on the Fight Desk. I'm Amanda Guerra, joined by two-time MMA world champ Josh Thompson, who has his own little history with Nate Diaz. Also, Brian Campbell here. BC, I want to start with you. These guys went for the BMF belt 5 years ago. We had the early stoppage because of a doctor. Nate Diaz, not too happy about that. Right when the fight ended, if you go back and watch it, they were cordial, shook hands, said thank you so much. That is far from the case heading into tonight. What have you seen on the road with these guys?
What a long, strange trip it has been to get to this fight. Not just the 5 years that you talked about, but we did the first of 6 press conferences in April, and it was businesslike, it was cordial, there was respect between the two combat sports legends. But the more we talked about how this fight was made, you found out how disrespected Jorge Masvidal felt. And then a month ago, outside of this building, when the two camps finally boiled over, we got the kind of business we expect with these guys. And I do think that was a big part of why this is a sold-out arena and a true grudge match 5 years later.
Yeah, I've had experience with the Diaz camp and the Scrap Pack, as they like to call themselves. Look, once you sign on the dotted line to fight them, all gloves are off, I should say. I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter if they are friends with you in the hallway. It doesn't matter you see them in the elevator. They want to take your head off. And that's what happened. Once that contract was signed by Jorge Masvidal, nothing else mattered for Nate Diaz. I'm here to win. I'm here to take everything from you. You're not going to take food off my plate. I'm here to deliver. And that's exactly how Nate Diaz goes about it.
And if anybody thinks we're joking about the animosity between these guys, we have had to keep their camps on opposite sides of this building. There was extra security here trying to make sure everybody stays safe tonight. That is our headliner tonight. Taking a look at the rest of the main card, it is absolutely incredible. This is filled with wonderful storylines. I'm going to tell you the fight I'm looking forward to. Carmel Moten, he is the protege of Floyd Mayweather. Some people calling him the next Floyd Mayweather. Floyd in the building tonight. Hopefully we get to talk to him. Josh, what fight stands out to you?
Chris Avila and Anthony Pettis. You know, Anthony Pettis is a pioneer of the sport in terms of he was kickboxing before, then UFC champion, now trying his luck in boxing. He is a smooth stand-up fighter. But Chris Avila, I gotta be honest, inside the boxing ring, he's just not something to mess with, man. He blooms
also
inside that ring.
Nate Diaz's team.
Yes, but he blooms inside that ring. You know, he puts the pressure on, and this being an 8-round fight, I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Pettis to make sure his cardio and condition can handle Chris Avila.
Hey, that's a great matchup, Josh. But if you want real fire, guys, how about STS, Steal the Show, Amado Vargas versus Sean Garcia. Both members of boxing royalty in terms of their extended families. Vargas, the son of Fernando Vargas, the 2-time champion, and Ryan Garcia's younger brother, Sean. But the animosity between them has been electric. Garcia talking about wanting to end the dynasty of the Vargas family. Vargas saying the Garcias are quitters. Buckle up, guys. It's going to get wild.
We got a stacked card tonight. I'm excited for every single fight on the main card.
It is absolutely incredible. We did get to talk to Sean Garcia about Ryan. We'll talk to you about that in the main event. If you want to see that main event, there it is. Scan the QR code. Go to fanmio.com right now. We are throwing leather at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And I will tell you, this is a little freebie right now. You're watching on YouTube. We love that. If you buy the pay-per-view, We're going to come back on camera. Josh, I'm only letting you hold this. He's already tried to steal this from me. If you buy the pay-per-view, they will send you this shirt. It is a very exclusive shirt. We have already fought for it. We can't even get our hands on this shirt right now. Josh, this is a large. I think it's too big for you. So I'm going to take it back. You're like a medium. We're going to send it down to Mauro Ranallo to get things started tonight. Mo, you got a hell of a group with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amanda. He is the one and only former two-time boxing welterweight champion, Showtime Sean Porter. We are going to be joined by UFC bantamweight kingpin Sugar Sean O'Malley live on pay-per-view, but to paraphrase The Rock, finally, you and I get to work with each other, my man.
I've enjoyed listening to you for a very long time, and I'll be very short with this. You love to have fun on the show.
Hey.
And I'm looking forward to having some fun with you tonight.
It's all about fun. We are locked in. Hope you are too. Let's get this party of pain started, shall we? And we are going to get things started with a potential big bang. That's because the 27-year-old Steve Dunn is 5-0 with 5 KOs at heavyweight. Gabriel Costa will try to knock him from the ranks of the undefeated. We are set for 4 rounds or less at heavyweight. Let's get the official introductions from Sonny Franco.
A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans joining us around the world. We're coming to you from the Honda Center here in the beautiful city of Anaheim, California. This is a last man standing, Diaz versus Masvidal, and is being presented by Fanmio Live Pay-Per-View in association with Real Fight Inc. and a gamebred boxing promotions, and is being sponsored by Make America Great Again a token on the Ethereum network, by Limitless One Shot, Ultimate Energy, by Happy Dad Hard Seltzer, by Board Jerky, and by Potch Extraordinary Tequila. We kick the action off with the first bout scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the heavyweight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout should it go the distance are Pat Russell, Tiffany Clinton, and Ray Perez. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Michael Margado. Fight fans, let's get the action going. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He steps in the ring tonight with the black trunks with gold. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 206.1 ready pounds. As a professional, his record stands 3 victories against 7 defeats. 1 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight from Woburn, Massachusetts, introducing Gabriel Costa. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the red corner. He steps in the ring tonight with white trunks with green. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 213.5 solid pounds. As a professional, he enters the ring tonight undefeated. 5 wins with 0 losses. All 5 of his wins coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, from Beverly Hills, California, introducing Stevie Dunn. Once again, your referee, Michael Margado, to give the final instructions.
Get your mouthpiece in. Get your mouthpiece in. Okay, look, both of these belt lines are a little high, so this is a legal blow here and above. Same with you here. These are going to be legal blows here and above. You both receive your instructions in the dressing room. Let's have a good, clean, hard-fought professional fight. Touch gloves now. God bless you both. Gotcha.
In the words of the dearly departed Bill Walton, throw it down, big man. We are about to see the big man throw down. There's Steve Dunn, 5-0, all 5 wins via knockout. Gabriel Costa, just 22 years of age. In his 12th professional fight, does not have the best record, but is coming off a TKO win. Referee Michael Margado, the first of a scheduled 4 rounds, and Sean the southpaw. Steve Dunn has simply looked sensational early in his career. He's in his physical prime now at 27, but has had all 5 wins come in 3 rounds or less, and already looking to close the show with that overhand left.
Big overhand left. That's probably going to be the punch. If it's not that, it's going to be that right hook right there. He throws with intention, throws with a lot of power, and I didn't know much about him coming into this, but I saw enough to know he's going for the knockout with just about any punch that he throws.
Costa has the edge in experience despite being 5 years younger. This is his 21st round as a pro, just the 9th for Dunn, who again has put his power on display early and often.
He's 27.
Nice left hand there. And he is unloading with the left. Oh, the right hook. That caught Costa on the jaw's head straight up. He's a guy actually known for his Brazilian jiu-jitsu, just 3-7-1 as a boxer. So obviously,
do what he's doing right now, right? Grab and hold.
He wants to turn it into a grappling match, but those aren't the rules here tonight.
Well, he has to. I mean, look at Dunn. Dunn's breaking all the rules. Hands aren't up. Every punch is coming from the hips.
It's like he's breaking all the rules. He's setting a trap. Beautiful 1-2 by Dunn. A little wide with the punches. I was going to say it landed not the most aesthetically pleasing, but he is dictating terms of the scrap.
Absolutely. I mean, it just, you're looking at.
But there is a lot of wide open highway between those punches.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Costa's looking at a wide open, wild man with a lot of power. So he's got to do that right there. Use his jab, and I would say circle the ring.
So now just over a minute left, and Costa tasting the leather of Dunn again, backing him up.
Costa doesn't know what I know. Right now, he's on the end of the power. He's got to get up on Dunn. That's how he's going to stop Dunn from using the power he's got.
And Dunn ducks underneath the lazy right from a Costa, who's now fighting southpaw, known as an orthodox fighter, but both southpaw and both chucking leather here with just over half a minute remaining.
You know, the thing about boxing is sometimes it's just a fight. It's not about X's and O's. It's about showing your might and fighting back, and that's what Costa's got to do. Can't lay back.
Dunn going to the body again, a short
there we go.
left
See?
over the top. Costa lands a left and a right. And Dunn not using the jab whatsoever. It may be suffering from abandonment issues, Sean, because he is swinging wildly and has to be careful he doesn't punch himself out. Here we are with just seconds left in the opening 3 minutes.
Good shots. Good job.
Escuta, calma, relaxa. Calma, respira. Você viu? Ele só tem aquela mão. Escuta eu. Quando ele te abraçar, não solta.
We got some big punches from Dunn in this first round. That overhand left right there I thought was going to end the show, but obviously we can see that Costa's in here. He's in here to take some punishment like that right there. It doesn't get much cleaner than that. If this punch doesn't stop Costa, that one doesn't floor him, I don't know what will.
1-1-2. All right, take a deep breath. Let it out hard. Hard, let it from your gut. Get up. Yeah, get this. Okay.
Costa tasting Dunn's power in the first frame for Gabriel Costa. Again, just 3-7 as a professional boxer, and you talk about punch resistance, he's been stopped in all 7 losses.
Well, if he's been stopped, I wonder if it's just the refs jumping in and stopping him. Obviously, that was just 1 round. The body wears down after a couple of rounds. We'll see what happens, but
yeah, he's suffered all 7 of his losses via knockout. So, you know, obviously Steve Dunn, the A side, comes in undefeated, 5-0, 5 knockouts. A heavyweight from Hollywood, California, right out of Central Casting, is eating the jabs from Costa, and so Costa beginning to score.
I like it. This is what I like from Costa. I said this in the first round. Get up on Dunn. Stop him from using that power. And the other thing, too, Dunn may have even thrown himself out in just that first round.
Yeah, Dunn has been very candid, very open about his past struggles with addiction, wants to be a role model, an emblem of an emblem of resilience, source of inspiration, a man who is committed to making a difference, much like yourself, Showtime Sean P.
Yeah, I mean, when you go through things in life, they really do show up in the boxing ring, the good and the bad.
The truth.
It shows the truth.
The circle of truth.
Yeah.
The squared circle of truth.
You know, Costa didn't sit down in between rounds, and I said, you know what?
Is he George Foreman?
they must have some faith in his conditioning. I think right now, you know, while he's playing right now with Dunn in terms of just having his hands down, not really.
Yeah, halfway. To have been throwing a lot of punches, missing wildly, making contact at times. But you throw a punch as a heavyweight and you are expending energy, my man.
Absolutely. I mean, always as a commentator, I'm always looking at a fighter. What should he do? What could he do? Both guys need to use the jab. As we can see right now with them trading jabs right there, the jab is going to get there quicker than the power, big, hard shot.
Dunn breathing laboriously, hands on his hips, hands are low, and eats the jab of Costa. Costa opening up and scoring, but he has his head too straight up. Both of them are in danger of getting tagged.
What a turn.
Don't push, don't push.
The way the first round looked, the second round he's supposed to look like this.
Costa coming back. Rock him, sock him, Dunn getting damaged. Dunn bent over, it's Costa coming back. Costa came in as a huge underdog.
There it is.
Dunn is down.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mamma mia! He is done. Gabriel Costa records the upset. The 22-year-old comes into the Honda Center in Anaheim to take on the 5-0 Steve Dunn with 5 knockouts, Sean, and instead the man known as Blockbuster, well, he's on the receiving end of a blockbuster upset thanks to the Brazilian.
Listen, Costa did not sit down in between rounds and say, hey, they're not afraid of the power that Dunn is coming with in that first round. And they weathered the storm, and I heard his coach in the corner said, calm down, take some breaths, calm down. I think him being calm in this second round is what helped get the job done. But when we look at this replay right here, I'm going to tell you guys how Costa got the knockout. He punched Dunn to the body. He landed a clean right hook to the body.
He put that money in the bank.
Absolutely. These were big punches. Everybody's expecting the knockout to come from a big head shot. Both these guys throwing big, wide hooks and overhand rights. Who doesn't like to see that? I love to see Costa go after this right here. Boom. That's the punch that stopped Dunn. That right, he was done.
Yeah.
After that right hook to the body. He stayed up, he tried to stay with it, but that punch, when the fighter goes down and doesn't get up, it's because of the body. I'm wore out, I'm tired, I don't feel like I can keep going. Great body shot from Costa.
Well done, Gabriel Costa. Improving to 4-7. He's got back-to-back knockouts on his ledger. The first 2 stoppage wins of his career. And for Steve Dunn, suffering defeat for the first time, getting stopped in round 2. A shocker to kick things off here on this Fanmio preview.
Let me tell you about getting hit to the body. You heard him when he got up, he just screamed, ah! You feel in the moment, you feel like you can't keep going. And that's what he felt. That's why that fight got stopped. Great punch landed by Costa, and also reading and seeing that he had done both hurt and tired, and he kept going and got it.
Well, it's a heartbreaking defeat for Steve Dunn. I want to at least share some good news with his fan base and who he is. He's an esteemed ambassador for Walk with Sally, a Southern California-based charity dedicated to providing support for children whose families have been affected by cancer like his own. So well done, Steve Dunn, in that department. But tonight, it's all about Gabriel Costa. Let's make it official with ring announcer Sonny Franco.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 2 minutes, 50 seconds of round number 2. Referee Michael Margano puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by way of a knockout, Gabriel Costa.
22 years of age, with a shocking stoppage win, the second round KO. We talked about him trying to knock Steve Dunn from the ranks of the undefeated. Not only did he do that, but he knocked him out. That's the way we get things started here at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Let's go back up to the fight desk and Amanda Guerra.
Morinello, thank you so much. BC, you're almost jumping out of your chair on that one.
Anaheim is upset city tonight, AG. Who would have saw that coming? 3-7 versus the 5-0 prospect with 5 knockouts. Morrow called this, what, the squared circle of truth. It's also the theater of the unknown, and that's what we saw tonight.
Sean Porter with he was done after he got hit to the body. He was done and done. I was like, oh man, nasty body shot.
BC, you are going to be ringside for the rest of the night once you get to the main card. I want you to know you're on a riser. Be careful when you keep jumping up during these fights. Take a look at again at some of the magic from that fight there. Again, Costa. I mean, BC is.
Well, the problem with Steve Dunn, we saw too many wide punches. We saw him use up too much energy in the first 2 rounds. Credit, though, to Gabriel Costa for never giving up, staying the course. And once he saw that his opponent was weakened, Josh, that gas tank was gone. The opening was there.
BC, when you're a prospect, though, you got to come out and make sure that you're fighting composed, and he didn't do that. He came out trying to make a statement in front of this crowd, knowing this was a big opportunity for him, and that sometimes will wear that gas tank down, and we saw that by the second round. He was not the same fighter.
Hopefully a sign of things to come tonight as we get ready for our main card, starting at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. It is a 6-fight main card, of course, headlined by Nate Diaz going up against Jorge Masvidal. I want to start with Jorge Masvidal on this one, because many of you know he retired. In 45 days, he took off after he retired from MMA, and he said after that, I had to start training. I didn't even have a fight I was training for, but I needed to start training. Said he was training like he had a fight, and then this opportunity came up. He is taking boxing so seriously. He moved his entire team, close to 10 people, to Las Vegas for 6 months, Josh. He was training with Capetillo in the mountains. He was chopping wood. This is a different Jorge Masvidal than we've seen in a long time.
Look, I've known Jorge for a long time. Backyard, bare knuckle boxing. I mean, MMA standout. I mean, him and I were slated to fight a couple times. It never came to fruition. But look, bottom line is, I've done my research on him. I know him. Right now, he's on a tear, understanding what his focus is. This is what he wants to do. I have stories of him at American Top Team, watching him piece up guys in the gym, and guys that were bigger than him, just making him miss and making him pay. I find that this is where he belongs, and I think he's out here to prove it. He wants to show everyone that MMA guys can box, and he's the one. He's one of those guys that he has those tools. Yeah. And I'm looking for him to make a statement tonight.
I teed him up with so many questions over this great press tour that built up this fight, and what I found was really a renewed spirit. Look, the tail end of Masvidal's UFC career, won some, he lost some, but it was the recommitment, Amanda said, not just moving his life and team to Las Vegas, but this fight was delayed an extra month. It was a long training camp. And this isn't just a one-off to get the bag. This is Jorge Masvidal realizing I have an opening here for a second career. And you hear the names he's talking about if he gets past Nate Diaz tonight. We are talking about big business ahead, whether we're talking about the Paul brothers, Floyd Mayweather. This is a big opportunity in the reinvention of Jorge Masvidal.
On the other side, let's go to Nate Diaz here. Look, Jorge Masvidal much more open in the media about his training. Nate Diaz, he trains up in Stockton, where he is from. He's not left there. His entire team is there. What do you know, BC, about what's been going on behind the scenes for Nate Diaz?
Yeah, the one thing I know, and Nate really admitted this himself, made his pro boxing debut last summer against Jake Paul, went 10 hard rounds in a somewhat competitive loss. But what Nate admitted was, some point during that training camp, he kind of lost interest in the whole situation. He went through with it, he still showed up, he fought, and he gave a good effort in the second half. But this has been sort of a renewed Nate Diaz in a different realm than Jorge Masvidal. He's gone back to the basics in his camp, full camp. You know that cardio is going to be there for Nate Diaz. It didn't look like it was fully there in the Jake Paul fight. Both guys, though, could really use a big high-profile win here. Nate Diaz is right in that mix. I expect to see a rejuvenated one just the same.
It's going to be absolutely incredible when that main event gets underway. Also want to talk about the co-main event we have coming up tonight, the return of Daniel Jacobs to the ring, two-time champion, going up against none other than Shane Mosley Jr., coming in on a 4-fight win streak. He has only lost once since 2018. Josh, this is the one you think has the chance to steal the show tonight if it's not the main event. Why are you so excited about this?
Well, look, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered with Danny Jacobs. Is he back? Yeah. Is he focused? Which I think he is. And with Shane Mosley Jr., is he ready for that next step up in competition? And we're only going to find out if the two of them get inside that ring tonight. Yeah. And those are all those questions to be answered. The young guy, can he fight off of his back foot with someone like Danny Jacobs putting the pressure? Can Danny Jacobs handle the speed? Can he handle the movement? How is he going to adjust, and can he do it?
Yeah, these two are meeting at really the perfect point, meaning Jacobs was maybe seen as a more elite fighter than Shane Mosley Jr. in the buildup of their careers. But the 2 years off, don't forget, Jacobs missed weight by nearly 2 pounds on Friday. He's catching a Shane Mosley Jr. who at age 33 is no longer the Hall of Famer's son, right? He's coming into his own as an elite middleweight. Shane Mosley Jr. told us he turned down a title shot against WBC middleweight champion Carlos Adames because of this opportunity. Not just Danny Jacobs being the biggest name opponent of his career, but he was willing to move up to 168 pounds. And we have seen lately on this 4-fight win streak the very best of Shane Mosley Jr. I think these are two trains colliding at the perfect time.
We are going to be here inside the Honda Center in Anaheim. If you want to watch all the action tonight, it is so easy. Just go to fanmio.com/PPV. And if you go to that website, and look, you're not going to want to miss the action because this is what everyone's going to be talking about tonight. If you do that, you also not only get to watch the fight. BC, I am jumping Josh Thompson with this shirt. Show everyone the shirt they get. They will mail it to you if you get the pay-per-view tonight. Again, go to fanmio.com/PPV. BC, I'm more...
Good. I could see Josh with a pair of jorts in this, right? That's all he needs.
I don't know if Josh is cool enough to wear jorts.
It's going to be mine by the end of the night.
I know my man Mauro Ronaldo is. We'll send it back down to you.
All right, we are set for action in a division that is near and dear to Showtime Sean Porter's heart. It is in the welterweight division. It will be Alan Sanchez riding a 3-fight winning streak, taking on Luis Lopez, who is unbeaten in his last 3 matches, 2-0-1. With the official introductions, here is Sonny Franco.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Honda Center here in Anaheim, California, this is Last Man Standing, Diaz versus Masvidal, and is being presented by Fanmio Live Pay-Per-View in association with Real Fight Inc. and Gamebred Boxing Promotions, and is being sponsored by Make America Great Again token on the Ethereum network, by Limitless One Shot Ultimate Energy, by Happy Dad Hard Seltzer, Board Jerky, and Punch Extraordinary Tequila. We continue on with the next bout of the evening, scheduled for 8 rounds of action in the welterweight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout should it go the distance are Zach Young, Dr. Lou Moret, and Pam Hayashida. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Edward Coyantes. Fight fans, let's get the action going. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He steps in the ring tonight with the green trunks with gray. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 146.3 solid pounds. As a professional, he has 19 fights to his credit, including 15 victories against 2 defeats with 2 bouts even. 5 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a fighting pride of Corona, California, introducing Louis Buddy Lopez. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the red corner. He steps in the ring tonight with the white trunks with black. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 146.3 solid pounds. As a professional, he has 29 fights to his credit, including 23 victories against 5 defeats with 1 bout even. 10 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Fairfield, California, here is Alan Sanchez. Once again, your referee, Edward Collantes, to give the final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, here and above is legal blow. Here and above is legal blow. I expect a good, clean, professional fight. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Referee is Edward Collantes. Welterweight action scheduled for 8 rounds. For Alan Sanchez, his 30th professional fight. And for Louis Lopez, this is his 20th professional prize fight. The bell and round number 1. The 33-year-old Sanchez at 23-5-1 has 10 knockout wins, but has been stopped 2 times. Meanwhile, Lopez 15-2-2 with just 5 knockouts, Sean.
It's okay. You ain't got to knock everybody out. I didn't. I like Sanchez the way he's boxing right now. You know, it's early. Watch your head.
Lopez walking him down to the ropes.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Framing by
work out.
Sanchez.
This kid Sanchez, he's 6 foot. You know, doing what he's supposed to do. He's trying to land from the outside. Good body shot. He just worked in on the
6
inside.
foot welterweight. Thomas, tall welterweight.
Absolutely. Not to say that he's gonna, but it can be done.
The physical dimensions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which are always insane. And then there's Sebastian Verdora, 154.
Yeah.
A minute has elapsed here in the opening round, and Lopez coming forward, high peekaboo guard, looking to bob and weave, has Sanchez on the back foot. Sanchez goes to the body.
Listen, for anybody watching, wondering why is 3-5 in the ring, why is 15-2 in the ring? Listen, this is probably the most evenly matched fight that either of these guys have had against one another. You know, this is an evenly matched fight, which is why we see it right now. This is a really good controlled boxing match.
And they are hungry, given this platform, to put their skills on display. Sanchez with a reach advantage, yet to take advantage of it though, as Lopez putting smart pressure on Sanchez.
Yeah, and you know, and Sanchez using his feet and trying to use his reach like he should, but there's moments where he can't afford to stop. Like Lopez, he needs a little bit more bob and weave to his game, Lopez that is, but working accordingly in terms of adding that mental and physical pressure by trying to walk down Sanchez.
There's the stick from Sanchez, followed by the 1-2. The jab splitting the high guard of Lopez. So now Sanchez beginning to circle, utilize lateral movement, get the rhythm set with the jab. But Lopez goes to the body now, and they clinch momentarily. But the veteran Sanchez leading with the left hook to the body.
Yeah, I mean, you know, right there was a moment where he just decided to block and lay on the ropes. Can't afford to do that. Keep turning, keep working that jab, and keep keeping that distance.
So Sanchez going on here in the second round, utilizing the footwork and the body attack on Lopez. Lopez comes back with a left hook to the body of his own.
I like to talk about getting to the body. He's being very intentional by getting to the body of Lopez. I want to see Lopez do the same.
That was a beautiful combination by Sanchez, punctuated with a left hook to the liver as we go to round number 2. Imagine that, a Mexican-born fighter who attacks the body with the left hook. It's incredible.
Yeah, and especially to be 6 foot, where that's really not where you belong for the second words. He's still bending down, get down there, and delivering it.
You got to punch away. You're using one jab only. You got to move your head a little more. Be quicker on the feet to close the gap, right?
Henry Ramirez giving Lopez instructions as we revisit the action from the past round.
Take those feet with you, and once you get there, you gotta.
That was a very impressive first round from Sanchez. The body work. I was really impressed to see him going to the body again. 6 foot guys don't know how to. A lot of them, not all of them, don't know how to bend down. This is what Lopez needs more of in that second round, right on the belt lines, not illegal, but he's got to continue to get to Sanchez's body.
The bell and round 2 here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. You're watching the free view as we get geared up for a pulsating pay-per-view coming up at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, a 6-pack of summer scraps culminating with the grudge rematch between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal 5 years after they fought in the UFC for the ceremonial BMF title. They will meet in the boxing ring. And Lopez, in the first 30 seconds, trying to make it a scrap here with Sanchez. Sanchez keeping him at bay with that left hand.
Yeah, Lopez has just got to pick it up. He's got to increase his work rate, his punch output, like he's doing now. Came out with better energy in this second round. Hey, listen, man, sometimes guys need a round to get going.
And for some, like Gervonta Davis and others, they will download as much information as is necessary and still knock you out.
Yeah, well, listen, you had the opportunity to call in that one. I didn't, so we're not going to talk about that.
A memorable knockout it was.
Yes.
Earlier this year for Gervonta Tank Davis, but of course the welterweight division always busy, and even your generation, so many memorable scraps you were involved in, and Alan Sanchez and Louis Lopez, they want to make this opportunity memorable.
Go, guys, work out, work out.
Another lead left hook to the body by Sanchez. Lead right hand by Sanchez, straight down the middle, straight as 6 o'clock shot. Which is the pay-per-view start time on the West Coast.
There you go, there you go. Hook to the body, straight right, and then a jab. He's mixing it up. That's what he needs to do against Lopez. Not become a standing target, and certainly not predictable.
Oh, beautiful short right uppercut on the inside by Sanchez. First time we've seen the uppercut, but there's a 4-punch combination by the taller Sanchez.
Yeah, I think I saw that right hand may have rocked Sanchez a little bit.
Under a minute remaining in the second, Lopez marching forward and then gets countered with a couple of punches from Sanchez. Lopez initiates the clinch, and referee Edward Collantes allowing them opportunity to fight out of the clinch, which they do. Some wide punches from Sanchez, giving the opportunity to counter from Lopez.
Yeah, it's given the opportunity, but
he doesn't take advantage of it.
Not taking it. Got to take it.
Beautiful 3-punch combination there. You saw the left hand, the right uppercut, left hook by Sanchez.
Got to mix it up.
Punch placement.
Uppercut right there, too. I mean, Sanchez knows what he's doing. Again, like I said, these guys more than likely have been outmatched early in their careers.
Well, Sanchez has faced the better level of opposition, one via split decision over Pablo Cesar Cano. There's a cut.
10 seconds.
With the final seconds of the second round. So we'll follow that as clash of heads produces a cut on Sanchez's forehead. Just to finish my thought there, he beat Pablo Cesar Cano, the veteran, lost via unanimous decision to Louis Collazo, who also had a pretty good career.
Yeah, see, the names on Sanchez's career right there, they reflect his record. It's up to him on this night, like you said before, take advantage of the opportunity, which we see him doing by getting to the body. I mean, the body work of Sanchez, leading with the hook to the body right there. I think he came right back with a right hand to the head, straight right. I mean, I've seen more from Sanchez in 2 rounds than I've seen. I think that was a headbutt right there, but that's the one that didn't cause the cut. Here it is right here. I think this is the one.
Boom. 2 Rams meeting.
People ask me all the time if I'm coming back. All it takes is me watching fights and seeing something like that.
You're using your head in a much better and healthier way for yourself.
Exactly.
Although these 2 prize fighters, this is what they want to do. They want to change their lives, their families' lives. This is why they go away and train in the heat and the blood, the sweat, the years. Alan Sanchez just, 33, so he is definitely advanced in his age, while Lopez just 27 years of age. And Sanchez continues to make the investment to the body. Lopez opening up here in round 3.
Yeah, but the thing with Lopez, I like that he's opening up, but he's showing a lack of experience right here. the work rate has to continue. Like how he started the last round. He started the second round just like this, and then he slowed down. Can't afford to slow down.
Uppercut, another right uppercut. Just glanced at that first one, jacked the jaw of Lopez, who has never been stopped.
Ooh. And the body work, he has not forgotten the body.
Lopez trying to get in some shots at close quarters. Meanwhile, mid-range, this is where Sanchez wants to utilize his physical advantages, his reach advantage, putting together the combinations, utilizing the jab, the uppercut, the hooks to the body.
Tell you what I know about Sanchez. Whenever that right hand is released, that right there, whenever that right hand is released, as long as he's got some space, he's going to throw a left hook to the body.
Neither of them known for their power. 10 of Sanchez's 23 wins have come inside the distance. We mentioned for Lopez, 5 of his 15 victories have been via form of knockout.
It's about the breakdown for Sanchez.
Yes, the war of attrition.
Yeah, and early in his career, you know, you don't fighting 4s and 6s, you don't have enough time. You know, so we can truly see a breakdown in this fight and see him reap the benefits of going to the body.
Yeah, he's gone 10 rounds with Sao Bustos, has Sanchez, and for Lopez, this is his first fight scheduled. Well, actually, no, pardon me. This is an 8-rounder, so he has been 8 many times before, never 10. But these two still trying to climb the ranks, and it appears that the cut there, but nice 1-2 there. That was a right hand that split the high guard of Sanchez by Lopez. So if you don't have the power, you need to bring the volume.
Exactly. You know, and the thing about Lopez is he's not bringing either. He's trying. I'm not saying he's not giving forth the effort, but moments like that can't afford to get too close where he can't operate.
Final 10 seconds of the third, scheduled for 8. At 147 pounds, hooks by Lopez.
Time!
Ahí, mijo. Tienes que seguir trabajando más abajo, Hey.
Suelta la derecha, suelta la derecha.
Trabaja de los dos lados. Hey.
Trabaja la zurda y suelta la derecha.
No, entonces tienes que tirar más, güey. Tira más.
Beautiful uppercut right there from Sanchez. Sanchez is really showing his experience. He knows where the openings are going to be. And then we see right here, Lopez coming right back. Hook.
Well, when you have your left hand that low, Sanchez, you're asking for it. Right?
Yeah, you said you're asking for it.
And someone who has been asked to ensure that Nate Diaz and that scar tissue around his right eye won't be an issue, because he was cut by Jorge Masvidal in their first fight. That stitched around the cut man working on Sanchez. He will also be in Nate Diaz's corner. That, of course, the main event coming up later tonight. We are 47.5 minutes away from going live on Fanmio pay-per-view. Diaz versus Masvidal, last man standing, and Sanchez and Lopez standing in front of each other and teeing off.
Lopez found a home for that left hook at the end of that third round right there. Then he just led off with the left hook. I see him squatting down a little bit. Look like he's going to be looking for that left hook a little more. There it is.
And Lopez marching forward, going to the body.
Lopez isn't known for power, but I'm looking at his punches, the delivery.
Chopping right hand by Sanchez, though, that scored.
Yeah, Lopez doesn't close his punches. A lot of his punches are landing there, slapping blows. Like that right there, that right hand is an open hand. There's no power on that.
And they're not the Stockton slap like Nate Diaz will bring to the boxing ring. Got to keep promoting that pay-per-view, brother.
There you go.
We got Lopez and Sanchez entertaining the crowd already in attendance here at the Honda Center. The only adversity really for Sanchez has been that cut, and so far it hasn't been an issue because it's not bleeding into his eye.
And it's not going to be an issue because he's doing the right things. He's smothering Lopez when he needs to, and he's finding a home for that left hook every single time he throws it. Ooh. Right hook to the body.
Sanchez almost detonated that right uppercut. There he does it again. The right uppercut on the inside has been an effective punch for Sanchez. And Lopez with the high guard there, goes to the body with a left hook. 1-2 from Lopez. Backs Sanchez up. Final minute of the fourth round.
Good body shot, good work from Lopez. It's just not consistent enough.
Lopez continues to make the investment to the body, trying to slow down the bigger Sanchez. Sanchez, meanwhile, measuring, utilizing his vision, trying to find a way to deliver his combinations. Goes to the body with the right. Lopez comes back. Nice right uppercut on the inside by Sanchez. So Sanchez continues to find a home for the right uppercut on the inside, but Lopez taking the punch as well.
Yeah, he's taking the punch as well. Sanchez, again, not a lot of power coming behind the shots, but he's shown that he has a jab. I want to see more jabs, more sharper jabs, and he's shown that he's got a variety of punches.
Lead right uppercut by Sanchez. We've reached the midway point of this 8-rounder.
This fight's moving. All of a sudden.
Déjale bajarlo. Trabájalo, trabájalo.
Tienes que meterle presión, güey. Métele más presión. ¿Cómo andamos? ¿Bien o no?
Levanta la cabeza, levanta la cabeza, para atrás.
Métele más presión, Miguel.
No. Jala aire.
Here it is right here. Look how open the punch is. That punch is not landing flesh. This right here, though. Big uppercut landing from Sanchez. I mean, he sees the openings and he's not afraid to take them.
That beard may be made out of carbon fiber. Lopez taking an uppercut like that as we kick off the second half of this welterweight contest scheduled for 8 rounds. It's Alan Sanchez, the 33-year-old in the predominantly white trunks. He is 23-5-1 with 10 knockout victories, a 3-fight winning streak. He's taking on Luis Lopez, who's 15-2-2. He's got 5 KOs. He's unbeaten in his last 3 at 2-0-1, coming off a split decision win over Jesus Resendiz. That was in March of this year, while Sanchez, he last fought in August of last year, so a longer layoff for Sanchez.
Yeah, longer layoff, but I mean, it's not really showing at this point. When you have a layoff, you want to see as a fighter, number one, is he able to operate, box, look good, you know, things of that nature. We've seen Sanchez do that. The other side of it, though, how's his conditioning? So we'll see that. We'll start seeing that now.
And timing seems to be there. There hasn't been very much ring rust exhibited, and there's the double jab through the high guard, and probably something, if you're in Sanchez's corner, you want to see more, the jab.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see more of the jab. That's what I've been, been wanting to see more of since the opening bell. But I'll say this, too, when we talk about how Sanchez looks right now, and even Lopez, I think Lopez is just a step behind Sanchez right now, either at the beginning of the exchange or at the end of the exchange. Right
I know
there,
you want to. We mentioned Gervonta Tank Davis. One of his many brilliant skills, though, is his ability to recognize repetitive patterns immediately.
Absolutely.
We're seeing some of that from Sanchez with his punch combination. Yeah, effective, but you have to wonder if Lopez or his corner are beginning to download that info and try to time them.
I don't know if they are, but I will say this. I see that every time Sanchez takes a step back, Lopez takes a step up.
And he just delivered a body shot.
He wasn't doing that in the first couple of rounds. Every time Sanchez takes a step back, Lopez closes the space, and he's able to operate again. It's just up to him to keep throwing.
Final minute of the 5th round. And Sanchez missing with the right uppercut. Double left hand that landed for Lopez downstairs and upstairs, but Sanchez comes back, lands the right hand.
I honestly can say that hook to the body, hook to the head was the best thing I've seen from Lopez tonight.
I agree.
But he has to have more of it. There's no consistency.
We talked about it, you mentioned it yourself, the records, they're not the most sterling, but given an opportunity here on this Saturday night, it's all right for fighting, Sean, and they want to make a statement. The crowd would like to see a little more out of these two.
Well, I love the fact that you mentioned their records. You can match, as long as the match is evenly matched, it's going to be a good fight. We see that right now.
Yep, the 30th pro bout of Sanchez, the 20th pro bout of Lopez, and we are headed to round number 6. Ooh, nice right hand to the back.
Another good round from Sanchez. The thing we really want to see, that thing right there, that jab. We want to see that jab. Listen, you're outboxing Lopez. You can box him from the outside, and you've already proven that he can get to the body on the inside like this right here. He's shown it all. And he can the direction on his punches. The thing I want to see more, keep this fight clean. Don't allow Lopez to get back in it. I got it 4-1 right now, Mauro. And I had Lopez winning that last round. Don't even allow Lopez to get back into the fight.
Well, we all know boxing is about rhythm and bruise, and the jab can break rhythm or can set rhythm.
There you go.
And something that Sanchez will try to exploit as we get into the latter stages of this welterweight matchup scheduled for 8. We're into round number 6.
Funny thing about what you just said, Sanchez isn't really a rhythm fighter.
Right.
You know, he just kind of, he sees the openings, he takes them, and then he's always looking for that left hook to the body, but there's really no true rhythm.
And then George Foreman, the man himself, would say, you know, at its best, boxing is like jab.
There you go. I tell every fighter, if you don't have a jab, you don't have anything.
Left hook to the body by Sanchez, and the adjustments you would like to see made, beginning with Lopez, who you have trailing on your score, on official score.
I do, yeah. I want to see a jab from Lopez, but more than anything, I want to see him do that right there. He has to start throwing 60, 70 punches around instead of the probably 30 or 40 that he's been shooting so far. And then for Sanchez, I want to see him keep going. I want to see more of that jab. I like to see rhythm. That's what you talked about before this round started. Show rhythm, use the ring, use your jab, and set it up from there.
Well, the body work by both fighters continues. Nice right hand over the top by Lopez. And Sean, you brought it up. When he does open up, of course, anytime a fighter opens up, you leave yourself susceptible to counterpunching, but it's all about making, you know, you hit, make them miss. But Lopez is effective when he does open up.
He's effective when he opens up, but the thing is, this game is about levels. The level that he's missing after the offense, where's your defense? He goes right back in front of Sanchez. He stands there, and that's why Sanchez takes control and has been taking control nearly every round.
Sanchez, born in Guadalajara, now resides in Fairfield, California. Lopez from Corona, California, and there, Sanchez opening up.
Nice right hand landed from Sanchez. Clean, straight right.
Body shot from Lopez. So back and forth we go. Ebb and flow. Sanchez and Lopez now coming on. And the crowd rallying behind Lopez. Oh, right uppercut on the inside. Again lands for Sanchez. Sanchez and Lopez with a spirited 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first fight spoiled the crowd. They wanted more of that. They're starting to get it now. This is the funny thing about boxing, especially when I respect everyone in the crowd, but I don't think everyone in the crowd is so much an expert or really that familiar experience in watching boxing. A lot of people just want to see big haymakers being thrown. That is what pleases a lot of crowds, and so they weren't getting this in previous rounds. They got a little restless last round.
So a great 6th round of action. Penultimate round is on deck.
Con los ganchos abajo y los offers. Métete con los volados también.
Good round from both guys. I would say probably the closest round of this fight.
Beautiful exchange.
Yeah, nice 1-2 landed, and then the return with the right hand. This is what got the crowd going. They want to see somewhat of a rock'em sock'em robot kind of situation.
Well, we saw that in the heavyweight match.
Yeah, and great body shot landed right there from Lopez. Very much so a close round. Could have even gone to Lopez.
My friends are telling me that as heated as the action is in the ring, it's really heated in the YouTube comment section. They're battling over who's going to win the main event. And we enjoy, we welcome you to join us, of course, just over half an hour away from Fanmio presenting Diaz versus Masvidal, last man standing, live on pay-per-view, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And wow, the way these guys are going at it now, who will be the last man standing in this one? Again, not known for their power, but they're wearing each other out here. Like SZA says, wearing out like corduroy.
It's good back and forth right now. The thing for Sanchez, like that right there, that rhythm, that movement, circling the ring, using the jab. Keep the fight clean. Don't allow Lopez back in it. Lopez has got to put his foot on the gas pedal.
Sanchez going back to the start in terms of trying to utilize that footwork, use the jab a little more. Now at close quarters, giving Lopez an opportunity. But again, we've seen time and time again, many fighters with their physical attributes who just want to get on the inside and go to town.
This is what we do, man. When we feel our fists land, we feel it. It ignites us. It makes us want to do more of it. I think that's what happens for Sanchez. He lands and then he's like, I gotta go get more. This is a true adjustment. I mean, we're 7 rounds in now. This is the first true adjustment I've seen in this fight. Sanchez choosing to back up and try to use his reach.
Yeah, Lopez just clipped Sanchez moments ago upstairs. Nice, again, the right uppercut on the inside by Sanchez. Lopez misses with a sweeping left hook upstairs. You talk about levels, Sean. Obviously, these two fighters not at the highest level of the game, but of course scratching and clawing, wanting to make the most of every opportunity and being given the platform here to do so.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lopez and I'm like, he's the shorter guy. What is he missing as the shorter guy? Listen, the work.
That brother, no offense.
The work rate, we've been talking about that since pretty much the beginning of this fight. But another thing, he needs more speed. He needs some power. He needs to just keep going. Those are elements that are necessary at welterweight. Body shot.
Again, beautiful. He always punctuates his combinations with the left hook to the body. But Lopez keeps fighting back. Under 30 seconds left in the 7th.
I love how you said punctuates with that left hook, because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like period every time. Exclamation point.
I'm every time. Puns. Maybe it's punctuate.
Oh, there you go.
10 seconds left in the 7th. Uppercut again by Sanchez. Lopez tries to batter the body. The 8th and final round is upon us here at the Honda Center in Anaheim.
En este round tienes que soltar más. Tienes que soltar más, güey. No te quedes con nada, güey. Mira, trabájalos.
And he's trying to do, right? Listen to me. Round 8, bro. You are fighting your ass off. But we need this last round to win it, bro. We need this last round to put the exclamation point on it. This is all you, baby. All fucking you, bro. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
The other guy's blood.
Look, on the inside, Louis. He ties you up, hook his arm. Hook the arm and do the little turn. Right? Hook his arm. But don't get reckless, bro. I want you to still be aggressive.
Sage advice from Henry Ramirez in Lopez corner. He feels, I'm sure like you do on your unofficial scorecard, that Lopez needs the round. He may need the knockout. From where I sit, he definitely does need that KO. But again, a guy with 5 knockouts in 15 wins, and again, stepping up here in competition against Alan Sanchez, who, yes, has been stopped twice. back in 2018 and 19.
We haven't seen Lopez land anything that
of consequence.
Yeah, exactly, this entire fight. So it's hard to believe that'll happen in this round. The other side, too, is, of course, he's got to run his hands more than ever. And I'm not sure he'll be able to do that either. So Sanchez will certainly give him opportunity.
Sanchez continues to deliver that right uppercut. Durable Louis Lopez continues to take the punishment with the uppercut and the body work. And Lopez, there's that double left hook.
Yeah,
we liked earlier.
yeah.
Again, the bouncing it off the body, then going upstairs, but unable to really impact Sanchez with these punches.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that at this point in the fight, you gotta let go of some things. And now's not the time to jab. Now certainly not the time for Lopez to hold his hands.
And there you go, on
right
cue,
there.
Sean.
Yep, he's got to do that right there.
Both of them now throwing power shots, looking to land the money shot. A minute and a half remaining in the 8th round. And this is what you want to see from fighters in the final round of any fight, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12.
Absolutely.
You leave it all in the ring.
And a lot of times, even if a guy is winning, like Sanchez, I think he's clearly winning this fight, but he gets hit a couple of times, and he still has that feeling that I got to get it back. You know, we want to see that.
Right hand by Lopez.
For anyone who doesn't know, let me explain real quick. Boxing, one of the biggest things about boxing is heart. I think heart is looked at more than power, speed, how many fights you got, all the accolades. I think heart. When people watch boxing, the #1 thing they want to see is heart. What these guys are showing.
Yeah, here tonight we have seen a work of heart from both Alan Sanchez and Louis Lopez, trying desperately to catch the other in the final 35 seconds. And the fact that they are going for it, biting down on the gumshoe.
I like fights like this.
With fight-changing power. That's
I like fights like this.
I do too.
And as long as you're paying these guys, we need more of this. We need more evenly matched fights. I don't care what level you're at. Match them evenly, pay them, and whoever wins, wins.
At the end of the day, the fans want to be entertained. Listen to this crowd here in Anaheim. That's the sound of people who were entertained. We go the 8-round distance in the welterweight division. Alan Sanchez, the 33-year-old who was cut due to an accidental clash of heads. And Louis Lopez, the 27-year-old out of Corona, California. Both of them unbeaten in their last 3 fights. Lopez 2-0-1. Sanchez with 3 consecutive wins after being stopped in back-to-back fights. Sean, take us through what we saw.
Best round of the fight, and it's supposed to be. It's the last round. Lopez really showing his heart, giving it all he had. Great 1-2s landed in that round. Straight punches landed in that round. A lot of good stuff landed in that round from both guys. Right here, this right hand lands. I think it is right hand coming up. Oh, we didn't see it, but there was a right hand that landed for Lopez that round that I thought actually finally had some significant impact on Sanchez. Good boxing match. You know, when you know what you're watching, I think it's easier for you to accept what's going on. We know that both those guys, they're not world championship level, but for their level, they both put on a great,
local favorite, Louis Lopez. Alan Sanchez, who resides in Fairfield, California. So a battle of Golden State Gladiators going down here in the welterweight division, as we are less than half an hour away from a 6-pack of boxing matches featuring crossover MMA fighters and pure boxers. Let's get the official decision now from Sonny Franco.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 exciting rounds of boxing action, to the judges' scorecards we go. All 3 judges, Zach Young, Dr. Lou Moret, and Pam Hayashida, all see the bout the same. 77-75, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Louis "Buddy"
Lopez.
A shocking upset in the first fight. A shocking decision here as Louis Lopez improves to 16-2-2 with a unanimous decision win over Alan Sanchez, whose 3-fight winning streak is history. We've got more coming up live on pay-per-view at the top of the hour. Let's go back to the fight desk and Amanda Guerra.
More Ranallo, thank you so much. What a night it has been already here inside the Honda Center. And I am telling you what, it is deafening already. We are now under 30 minutes away to our pay-per-view event starting at 9 Eastern tonight. 6 Pacific, headlined by Nate Diaz going up against Jorge Masvidal. Thanks to the world of social media, we know when Conor McGregor is going to be watching this fight because he just put down $500,000 on Nate Diaz. I don't know how everyone feels about that. We're going to have to wait until tonight to see what happens. Josh, I want to start with you here. Look, about a month ago, outside the Honda Center, we saw the fight between the two teams here, and you said, look, it's off limits to hit a coach, and that's what we saw some guys from Nate Diaz's team do.
Look, fighters are off limits. You guys shouldn't be fighting because there's a lot of money at stake. That's one thing fighters talk about. Let's not get into this, okay? But then also coaches are off limits because they've earned their stripes, I guess you could say. They've been through the ringer to get us fighters there. Also, families off limits. But DC, you were there.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
Look, this comes down to disrespect that Jorge Masvidal has felt, not just in how this fight was negotiated, but that was the second straight press conference in which Nate Diaz got to a point where he was sick of answering my questions. He didn't want to talk anymore. He wanted to fight. He stood up, threw the microphone down, refused to face off. And I think for Jorge Masvidal, he got to a point where I'm sick of you showing up late. I'm sick of you punking my team. The tension started brewing. It felt like a ticking time bomb. Luckily, nobody got crazy injured. We still have a fight. But that is still lingering in the air as we approach this main event.
We saw Sean Porter sitting next to Mauro Ranallo. Also want to mention on the broadcast tonight, UFC Bantamweight champ Sean O'Malley is going to be ringside for the entire night. We want you to buy this. Everyone is watching this tonight. Go to fanmio.com, and with every purchase, just scan the QR code. Look, we're making it easy for you guys. Pull out your phone, pull out computers, pull out your iPads, fanmio.com. Buy the pay-per-view, and with every single purchase, you are going to get an exclusive shirt. But right now, as we get ready for our main card, a behind-the-scenes look at how we got to the last man standing.
Nate says he has the best hands in the UFC. That's another reason why I wanted to fight him.
It's perhaps the most timeless question in all of combat sports. Are great fighters born, or are they made? How much will the countless hours of preparation matter once two combatants square off? On July 6th, in a can't-miss rematch for Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, even after decades of building their legends, the answer may still be in front of them. Each other.
When we step into that ring, I'm gonna fucking knock you dead, brother. I'm coming to finish, coming to kill, and that's the plan.
For the pride of Stockton, this is a shot at revenge. While for Gamebred, it's an opportunity to do what he does best.
The state of California is gonna press charges on me. I'm gonna murder this dude.
When it comes to fighting, the past never remains in the past. And soon, in an explosive grudge match, only one will emerge victorious. Born and raised in Miami, it was in these streets where Jorge Masvidal rose to fame alongside Kimbo Slice. Yet, it was in this apartment complex where it all began.
Me and my mom went through a lot here. She had a lot of good memories as well, a lot of bad memories. It was like a 2-bedroom apartment. We'd have all the families staying in here at different points. Some had just came into America for whatever reason, coming and going, so it was a good time, man. That's where we used to take the showers when Hurricane Andrew came. You know when them palm trees are sideways? Because the kids always used to jump from the first floor right there, right onto them palm trees and slide down and shit, man. I bet they're still doing that, these motherfuckers, bro. We do. You ain't doing that. So I saw from an early age that you gotta get after it. You gotta grind. You want something, there's no excuse, especially in this country. You gotta just go out there and do it. My family, my close friends, my kids are blessed and they'll stay blessed, you know?
Over the course of his historic MMA career, Jorge Masvidal forged his legacy with 35 electrifying wins full of accomplishments that no fighter had ever pulled off.
The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
Jorge Masvidal gets a massive knockout win.
Masvidal will now once again face Nate Diaz, his biggest rival, who earned his reputation as one of the biggest names in combat sports, with extraordinary combinations, world-class finishing instincts, and a refusal to quit. That led to 22 unforgettable victories. And true to his legend, it was Diaz who instigated the biggest challenge of his career by calling out Masvidal for the UFC's first ever BMF title.
With this belt, I want to defend it against Jorge Masvidal. Had a good last fight. Good last fight. There ain't no gangsters in this game anymore. There ain't nobody who does it right but me and him.
With a worldwide audience hell-bent for the fight, the UFC decided it was time to find out who was the true BMF.
Here we go.
And now, on July 6th, for the second time, these two legends will face off. And the unanswered questions that arose from one of the greatest fights in the history of combat sports will finally be answered.
Big shot. Big left from Nate Diaz. Boom. Huge elbow. Doing some damage here. Look at Nate.
Round 4 of a possible 5 for this BMF title. Doctor in to check on the cut of Nate Diaz.
Ultimately, it was a controversial stoppage by the ringside physician that resulted in the TKO victory for Masvidal.
The winner by TKO, and now the winner of the BMF belt, Jorge gamebred Masvidal.
Nate Diaz will now have his chance for revenge, except this time in a new arena where he believes he has the edge. Boxing. Decades ago, Nate Diaz arose out of Stockton to become a one-of-a-kind fighter with world-class toughness and a can't-lose mentality.
I made the cut happen, and I believe I did it myself. I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker or he gonna get me. And that's what happened. The first thing I thought, I want a rematch. I feel like I'm a better boxer than even all the best boxers. I think I'm better than everybody.
Both inside and outside the gym, resilience and stamina have long been the keys to Diaz's success, a formula developed from an early age, relentlessly pushing himself day in and day out. With his close-knit team by his side, And for Diaz, as always, the bigger the stage, the better.
I'm here to win. There's nothing that I ain't seen and I ain't planned for.
No one's gonna work as hard as me. No one's gonna fight as hard as me. No one's gonna train as hard as me.
Coming to kill.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, maybe we should get
I was on, Nate hit me up the run when I was already 4 miles in a run. I'm like, fuck. I guess I'll go run another 6 miles with you guys.
Diaz's process relies on removing distractions, preferring to let those in his camp speak to the press and let his ability inside the ring speak for itself.
Nathan is family. Started balling together when we were like 9 going on 10 years old. Hitting motherfuckers, man. That's just what it is. Stockton was rough, but I think it's home for us. So I can't say anything bad about it because it made us who we are, and it made especially Nathan, you know, and he shows it, and he's very, very raw. He's just who he is. He ain't tripping.
Stockton's where I come from. It's where I live. It's where I'm gonna be forever. And if you can live where I live, you can live anywhere.
Over 500 miles away, in the high desert of Las Vegas, in the early hours, Masvidal's training camp begins. With this fight taking place inside the ring, Masvidal knows he must fine-tune his training routine. Jorge's resurgence from the brink of retirement is driven by a thirst to cement his legacy.
I'm gonna make history. Nothing but violence and somebody leaving home in a stretcher. I know I'm better than I already proved the first time. I'm gonna show the world what all this hard work's been put forth, you know.
Taking his camp to Las Vegas allows Jorge to train at elevation to increase his endurance and get ready for anything that comes his way. Masvidal's head coach, Jorge Capetillo, doesn't rely on modern analytics to tell him the best way to run his camp. Instead, he opts for old school training, from scaling mountains to chopping wood.
You know, it's very important for us to run in this elevation, run here in Mount Charleston, which is almost 9,000 feet elevation, because it helps with the conditioning to open his lungs. And then we finish and we chop some wood. It's all about old school, baby. So the same way we chop in the wood, the same way we're gonna chop in him.
As well as the training ground for Masvidal, the fight capital of the world is also the first stop on a 4-city nationwide press tour to kick off the rematch the fans have long awaited. And those fans include one of the biggest names in the sport of boxing, Ryan Garcia.
Welcome on in. The Zouk nightclub here at the beautiful Resorts World Las Vegas is the setting for stop number 1 of the Baddest Tour, a combat sports rematch 5 years in the making.
I'm here to support my brother, and it's going to be a great event. Nate Diaz is obviously fighting. That's my boy. Shout out Nate Diaz, you know, he's going to fuck him up. No problem.
Jorge, directly after your victory, you said we are going to run it back. Why now? Why professional boxing?
Why now this rematch? Because I want to fight for the world title. Then here we are sometime later now in boxing, you know? So I can't wait to get in and fucking do my thing.
I'm gonna try to beat his ass the best I can in this shit, and then we'll go from there.
I don't think I know him a much better boxer, you know? I proved it the first time I dropped him with hands with an overhand right. And he got some shots in as well. But when you really break that footage out,
There was one guy who was giving out all the damage and one guy who was taking all the damage. I didn't like the comments Nate said afterwards. You know, we're both men, we're both professional fighters, and he called me a coward. He said I shouldn't have took that belt, this and that. Man, take it up with the fucking referee, stop the fight. Take it with the doctor, stop the fight. I'm doing my fucking job, and that's to put as much hurt as I can on you.
Yeah, Jorge don't know what's going on. He talks a lot of shit online, out loud, and all this stuff, but when it comes face to face, he don't want to say no shit like that. Give a fuck what happened last time. We're running back in MMA too one day, but right now we're doing this, so it's a whole another situation.
"24 hours later, the rivalry officially rekindled. New Yorkers arrive early to witness the spectacle.
Team Nate, you the OG. You been out here all day telling niggas. Oh, look at this.
Double fingers and a fully locked and tight. They're the new king of this motherfucker now, and it's right here, all right?
No help, he fought his way to the top. The real shit.
Nate represents the 209. Jorge represents the what, 305? If you add those numbers together, you know what that equals? Nate Diaz kicking Jorge's ass.
Jorge, last April, you walked away from MMA. You retired. What is it about this rematch and this fighter across from you, Nate Diaz, that you said, yeah, I'll do that. I'm not done yet.
I've only signed up for one thing, to be as brutal as I can and set myself apart from the next man. So, fuck everybody in this bitch.
There it is. I think everybody retiring out loud is a cap. They're all fucking full of shit. Be about it. Don't talk about it. Let's do it.
How difficult was that to be pulled from the fight, and how much has that motivated you throughout these 5 years?
So I knew the time would come. I still feel I'm the fucking BMF in this whole bitch.
While both legends may have known this fight was inevitable, during the lead-up, there was still the matter of whose name would come first.
If there's a fight before the fight, sometimes it can happen at the negotiation table when the details get worked out, when we figure out who's the A side and the B side. Nate, did you get what you asked for?
Yeah, I didn't ask for anything.
In my personal opinion, I feel like this dude's tried to delay it up and maybe didn't want to fight, you know? But we'll surely find out if he was playing mind games with this chicken-footed, pussy-footed shit that he's been doing, where he's yes, no, yes, no. We were talking to his manager, and they're like, well, if it ain't like this, he's not fighting. So I don't get it. If I won the last fight, why wouldn't my name be first, you know? But I don't really give a fuck, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is fight, and motherfuckers will be able to tell that.
If you were the baddest
motherfucker,
you do what you want.
Today we're in Miami, my hometown, born and raised here. A city truly built by immigrants, by minorities, for immigrants and minorities. So this city has shown me a lot since a kid, you know? I guess prepared me for the combat that was ahead of me, for the spotlights, for all the different avenues that I would have in life. I thank this city for getting me right, getting me ready.
Jorge, how would you describe this rivalry that you're in the midst of with Nate Diaz?
Like I said before, I got a lot of respect for Nate for what he's done in his career. Very similar upbringing, but that don't mean shit when we step into the cage or the boxing ring, whatever it is. I'm only trying to do one thing, and that's end the motherfucker. That's all I'm gonna be doing.
When Jorge spoke this week, Nate, about your first meeting, he said what he proved was that he was the superior athlete and the meaner of the two fighters. Do you have any response to that?
I agree, he's mean as fuck. I don't give a fuck though.
I think he might think I'm playing. I think Jorge might, but I hope keep thinking I'm playing, because I'm never playing. I'm here to win, and that's what I'm coming to do, and that's what I always come with.
How does this fight end?
Well, I'm pretty known for throwing like some violent ass knees, and I can't do that in boxing. And I'm also known for like kicking pretty good, and I can't do that in boxing. So, you know, that being said, I love to throw the hands as well. I don't really see it as a challenge. I just see it more as, fuck, let's get to it, you know? It's not a challenge, it's something that I love to do. I love to compete in combat.
Hey, if the last fight would have continued and this was for land, this would be my city, Manega West Side. Fuck all y'all, what's up?
Perhaps a visit to Masvidal's hometown earns him an edge in the war of words. However, as the cross-country tour concludes on Nate's turf, it's an opportunity for his fans to be heard.
These two characters, they grew up on the streets fighting. I imagine that's where we're going to go back to. It might look quite sweet science early doors, but when someone gets pushed on the chops early, after 3 minutes or so, I think you're going to get all out war.
Los Angeles. How are you tonight? This crowd is making a statement right now. What type of statement are you going to make in the ring?
Nah, that's what I expect. I expect a little bit more heat, man. I'm kind of disappointed because in my city, he couldn't get a word off, you know? Y'all letting me talk way too much, man.
Nate, do you feel like the favorite or the underdog in this matchup?
I feel like I don't give a fuck. Either way, it's good with me.
Jorge, we mentioned you're a promoter now these days. What makes this fight so special?
Two dogs in the ring. That's it. You know, when you get real dogs, they come to fight. I know I'm gonna give everything I can to take them out and shut all these motherfuckers up. All these motherfuckers talk wild when you got 25 security guards separating us, man. See me outside, bitch. See me outside, run up. I'll be right by myself waiting for some heat, bro.
Nate, why does this fight on June 1st need to be in your home state? Why is that important to you?
Sleep. Sure, bro. Sure, bro. Work your way up. Work your way up. Work your way up, bitch. There you go. Work your way up. Work your way up. Work your way up, bitch. Work your way up. Come on.
Hey, it was a fun tour. Going out here and all this shit all over fucking USA, and I'm done with all this shit. I'm cool off all this fucking talking shit. I got a whole team to represent. Fuck this nigga and fuck his team, bro. I'm out. I gotta go. Scrap with yourself, motherfucker.
Just show up to the fight, man. That's it. Just show up to the fight, man.
Jorge, your thoughts?
My thoughts is that he walked out, man. I'm gonna see that little pussy outside. Come in. Make way for this guy right here. Make way for this guy right here.
Absolute mayhem. Preview of the chaos we could see in the ring, but Nate Diaz does what Nate Diaz does. Exactly what he wants, and that's what happened.
Fuck, he's scared. In his own city, walked out. This is a super victory for me. Talking about fuck you when you walk out. I'm right here, motherfucker. I'm right here, motherfucker.
With the war of words now over, the real test begins. As a rematch this big and long-awaited raises even more questions, including, with solely his fists, will Diaz have the advantage? Will the desire to remain the BMF give Masvidal the edge? And out of two fighters renowned for their unparalleled desire, who wants it more? On July 6th, as the two legends step into the ring, all questions will be answered.